Turning our attention now to the day's big story. It continues to be the day's big story. Several details have now emerged in the investigation of the Shraddha Walker murder case, with the latest being the Delhi police teams having been sent to Mumbai, Gurugram and Himachal Pradesh. Now, the cops are gathering proof from the locations visited by Aftab Poonawalla following the murder of Shraddha. In their note yesterday, the Delhi police highlighted that the motive behind the murder is yet to be ascertained, but they did try to claim that Aftab Poonawalla tried to mislead the investigators. Now, this comes ahead of the narco test that is likely to be administered on Aftab on Monday. There's no denying it anymore. Shraddha was in an abusive relationship. She was found to be battered and bruised before she was actually murdered. This 27-year-old promising life was gruesomely snuffed out after years of torture, brutality as well as abuse. And what Times Now brings to you may well be the final nail in the coffin of Aftab's defense, and that's what many experts also believe. Now, let's in fact piece together the pictures, the chats, the testimonies, which will reveal the kind of barbarism that Shraddha was subjected to. First, let's look at this picture from December 2020. You can see cuts and bruises across Shraddha's face. This picture of a battered woman is just a glimpse of how Aftab had terrorized her. There's a cut on the nose, there's a bruise on the cheek, there's a cut on the lip, there are marks on the forehead, and there's a swollen eye as well as marks on the neck. Now, also look at some of the chats that Shraddha had with her manager. She explicitly states in these conversations, again dating back to 2020, that she's been thrashed so bad that she can't move. These chats date back to that same year that I just mentioned, where she says that she had actually tried to approach the police as well as a women's rights entity, which is the Mahila Mandal. In fact, we spoke to Karan, who reveals how Shraddha lived under a cloud of fear, torture as well as abuse.
मुझे डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस की कंप्लेंट करती रहती थी। हमेशा मतलब पहले जब नई नई आई थी मेरी टीम में, तो शी वाज वेरी जॉली, बहुत हंसते खेलते रहती थी। लेकिन फिर जैसे जैसे थोड़ा टाइम जाने लगा, फिर मतलब अगर मैं ऐसा बोलूँ तो हर हफ्ते या दूसरे हफ्ते उसके चेहरे पे या उसको कहीं ना कहीं चोट लगी हुई होती थी। फिर मैंने उस बारे में उसको पहले स्टार्टिंग में जब मैंने पूछा तो तब मुझे ऐसे ही बोल देती थी, अरे काम करते करते लग गया, ऐसा हो गया, घर पे मतलब काम करते करते स्लिप हो गई। तो वो ऐसे स्टोरीज बनाती थी। बट फाइनली नवंबर 2020 में जब उसके चेहरे पे बहुत ज्यादा चोट लगी थी, आउट ऑफ कंसर्न मैंने उसको कॉल किया एंड देन आई आस्क्ड कि एक्चुअली में क्या हुआ है तेरे साथ में। तब उसने खुल के बताया कि उसका हस्बैंड उसको मारा है। वो आफ्ताब को हमेशा अपना हस्बैंड बोल के बताती थी, लेकिन अगेन फिर वो मेरे ख्याल से दिसंबर के पहले हफ्ते में वो हॉस्पिटलाइज हो गई थी। मेरे ख्याल से वो जो भी उसको चोट लगी थी, जो उसके साथ में डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस हुआ था, उस मारपीट के चक्कर में उसको काफी बैक में और उसके गर्दन पे काफी चोट आई थी। तो फिर वो हॉस्पिटलाइज थी, मेरे ख्याल से 2 या 3 दिन के लिए वो हॉस्पिटलाइज थी।
Now, let's in fact go through another chat that Shraddha had with one of her friends that also reveals how those around her had suspected that she was in an abusive relationship, but Shraddha actually denied it. Now, one of her friends actually says, "Jesus, what happened to your nose, love? Fell or something?" To which Shraddha replies by saying, "I fractured it." The friend says, "Ouch," and then Shraddha responds by saying, "Yes, I tripped while climbing the stairs." The friend further asks, "Are you getting better?" To which Shraddha says, "Yes, it's almost healed, maybe a couple more weeks." The friend responds by saying, "Perfecto." So it's not just these chats, but also a hospital bill reveals how she had in fact been hospitalized for a period of 4 days in December 2020 with injuries to her back and spine. In fact, the doctors had to administer painkillers on Shraddha through that period.
There are more instances that prove the same. Proof number 1, Shraddha's face battered, bruised, and injury marks evident. You can see how on her nose, on her cheek, the right side of her cheek, also behind her hair on the forehead, there are some bruises, there are some red marks that can be spotted. Proof number 2, the medical report of 2020 confirms back injury. Remember, the treatment that is spoken of in the document that Times Now has access speaks of treatment to the nerves on the back region. So, and a back injury that is completely evident. Proof number 3, the doctor who treated Shraddha in 2020 confirms domestic violence. He's not ruled out the angle of possible assault that led to these injury marks. At least what he made of the injuries, having seen those on his own. If we move on to proof number 4, viewers, these are very incriminating details that have come to light. Shraddha asked a doctor to help boyfriend Aftab in 2021. 2020, she suffered those bruises. 2021, she reached out to another medical expert and said that she perhaps might be suffering from depression. She spoke of an aggressive boyfriend who was Aftab in that case back in the year 2021. Proof number 5, Shraddha's friend Shivani Matre confirms Aftab blackmailed Shraddha. On multiple occasions, he blackmailed Shraddha. Every time she told him that she's going to get rid of him, he threatened of suicide, of having committed suicide if she does so. Proof number 5, Matre also said that Aftab threatened to die by suicide. That's exactly what we're saying. Shraddha couldn't leave him. She could not leave him because every time she asked him to mend his ways, he would threaten her by saying he'll commit suicide. Proof number 6, Shraddha's friend claims that Aftab snubbed cigarettes on her back.
Now, on candid camera, Times Now also spoke to the doctor who treated Shraddha back then, and the doctor doesn't rule out the possibility of assault on Shraddha.
जैसे कि आपने इसे श्रद्धा को देखा था, अब आपने पढ़ा, मतलब याद नहीं आता, बहुत सारे पेशेंट आते हैं, तो क्या आपको कुछ समझ में आया कि ये जो ब्रूजेज हैं, जो स्वेलिंग्स हैं, ये क्या मारपीट की वजह से आते हैं या कोई गिरने की वजह से आते हैं? मतलब
हो सकता है, गिरने से भी हो सकते हैं, मारपीट से भी हो सकते हैं। ऐसे देखो, फैमिली डिस्प्यूट के केसेस तो फ्रीक्वेंटली आते हैं। काफी बार पेशेंट्स खुद, मतलब जो भी फीमेल रहती है, जनरली फीमेल ही विक्टिम रहती है।
बेसिकली देखिए, गिरने से इतना नहीं लगता, मतलब जिस तरह से फोटो आपने देखा, इस बेसिकली जो आपका एक्सपीरियंस है वो क्या कहता है?
हो सकता है ये बीच में एक दूसरे के बीच में हाथापाई हो जाए।
कंसिडरिंग शी रिक्वायर्ड हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन एंड नेक पेन है, बैक पेन है, मतलब जो इम्पैक्ट हुआ है दैट इज ऑफ अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्गर फोर्स
का रह सकता है।
जब हमने एडमिट किया, इसका मतलब मारपीट हुआ है वो ज्यादा मारपीट है ना, तो ये ज्यादा मारपीट की वजह से ये क्योंकि जिस तरह से आपने फोटो देखा, आपने सबसे पहले देखा, कुछ आपको याद आता है कि क्या वैसे कैसे एक्ट कर रही थी? क्या है?
काफी पुराना है ना केस।
लेकिन जिस तरह से हमने
अपने जब बताया तभी मुझे ध्यान में है कि मैंने इसको देखा, नहीं तो मैं पिछले 2-3 दिन से न्यूज में बार वो हर चीज उसके बारे में ये कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन मुझे कभी लगा नहीं कि इस पेशेंट को मैंने देखा होगा।
Now, we also had an opportunity to speak to Dr. Pranav Kabra, who claims that he received a call from Shraddha in 2021. And in this SOS message, Shraddha had actually sought help against her abusive boyfriend, who allegedly needed, according to her, anger management.
फरवरी 2021 की बात है, जहाँ तक मुझे याद है। मुझे फोन आया था वाया सम सोशल वर्कर के, एक पेशेंट है, वो को कंसल्ट करना है डॉक्टर से। कॉल फ्रॉम हर स्टेटिंग के उनको कुछ सेडेटिव पिल्स की जरूरत हो रही है, थोड़ा सा साइकोलॉजिकल डिस्टर्बेंस चल रहा है फैमिली के अंदर, थोड़ा सा फाइनेंशियल क्रंच चल रहा है फैमिली के अंदर, एंड साइमल्टेनियसली बता रहे थे कि उनके जो पार्टनर है वो थोड़ा एग्रेसिव है, थोड़ा से गुस्सैल है, उनका नेचर में थोड़ा सा बदलाव आया है। तो आई थॉट कि यस कि कोविड का टाइम है, कामकाज नहीं है घर पे, तो आदमी घर बैठे बैठे गुस्सा हो ही जाता है, वो काफी गुस्से में रहते हैं और काफी टाइम तक उनको जो है गुस्सा रहता है। तो इस तरह से बातें हुई थी हमारी, और मैं उनको बोला था कि आप अस्पताल आइए, हम आपको यहाँ इलाज करेंगे, हम पूछेंगे, बातचीत करेंगे, बट उसके बाद में फिर वापस कभी फोन नहीं आया।
Now, several of Shraddha's friends have actually come out and revealed the toxic nature of the relationship that she shared with Aftab. She was in, and they claim this, that they claim that Aftab in fact used to torture her and in fact abuse her by burning cigarettes on her back. Let's listen into what they had to say.
She went to a lady friend of ours, told me that Shraddha is getting cigarette butts on her back because Aftab is lighting it out on her back. Shraddha eventually was too scared and she requested us like a lot that to not do it. Later we found out that she was being blackmailed by Aftab to such an extent that he told her that he will suicide and name her family in it. And we didn't think this through, and because of that Shraddha also didn't think this through, and that is why we didn't go to the cops and all. We were like कि ये छोड़ने वाली है इसको eventually.
तो एक्चुअली उसको बोले मेरे को डर है, मुझे जान से मार देगा, वैसा बोलने लगी एक्चुअली. मुझे डर है, इतने 3 से 4 बार मुझे मतलब मारा, मुझे गला दबाने की कोशिश किया. एफआईआर भी है.
Akanksha joins us now from outside Mehroli police station. Akanksha, what's the plan of action now on the part of the Delhi police to take these investigations forward? What is still pending that they need to do to connect all the dots?
Well, absolutely. This is day 7th of the investigation, and as you know, crucial pieces of evidence are still missing. That includes her skull, the clothes that she was wearing the day she was murdered, her mobile phone, and also the other important crucial evidence that the police is now on a hunt for. Now, remember, yesterday the Delhi police expanded the ambit of the investigation and also conducted searches at a dumping yard in Gurugram, just meters away from the office where Aftab Poonawalla used to work, and from there they also recovered something. What was actually recovered by the police is yet not clear, but what we know so far is that they took away something in a big black plastic bag from there. But the fact still remains that crucial pieces of evidence are still missing. This is day 7th of the investigation. Police has 4 more days to find more and more clues in this case. This is Mehroli police station here in the national capital where he's currently lodged, and he's being questioned by the police in connection with the case from the last 7 days. In a note yesterday, the Delhi police had said that he had confessed to killing her. He had in fact strangled her multiple times, and they are yet to find the pieces of her body. But the hunt for the missing pieces of her body is still on. Other than searching for the missing pieces of her body in Mehroli jungle in the national capital, they also conducted the searches in Gurugram. Other than that, the Delhi court had day before yesterday directed that narco analysis of the accused has to be done in the next 5 days. So that will be conducted in the next coming days. And also the DNA sample has been collected from the 10 pieces that were recovered from the jungles of the Mehroli that had to be matched with that of the father. Results of that is also still awaited. So a lot of crucial evidence is yet to be collected by the Delhi police, but they still have 4 days to collect these crucial evidence.
And Akanksha, what's also interesting, like you mentioned very briefly, is that the narco analysis will go ahead. Aftab has given his consent for the narco analysis. It's likely to take place on Monday is what we're being told. But that is also absolutely critical, because while it's not admissible as evidence directly, it can still provide a sense of direction to the investigation for the Delhi police.
Well, absolutely. The Delhi police moved the court for this narco analysis after they said that the Aftab was misleading the police and was not answering the questions properly. This is when the police moved the court seeking for narco analysis. This is not admissible in court, but this will definitely give a direction to the police. For example, if Aftab during narco analysis says that divulges where he has hid the weapon of offense, the police can definitely go there and find it. However, this is not admissible in the court, but it will definitely give a direction to police to find the weapon of offense, missing pieces, mobile phone of Shraddha and other missing pieces of her body. This will hold a lot of relevance, and this will happen on Monday at FSL in Rohini. So this will definitely give a lot of direction to the whole investigation of the police. As I told you that
yes,
police has 4 more days to find crucial pieces of evidence in this case.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for that update, Akanksha.